Isn't that gorgeous? I'm down here in the pumpkin slash sunflower patch. Look at all those. They're starting to bloom, and some of these big tall ones. I've got a tall one blooming over there. I've got some blooms down here too. And we've already got some ladies working on some of these things. Now I will say that this has been a process full of surprises down here, because that was supposed to be butternut squash. It is not butternut squash. It is some kind of pumpkin. You see that over there? I don't know what it actually is. Oh, look at the colors on that one. That sunflower. I don't know what it is. It's something. It's producing. I don't care at this point. This actually is a watermelon. That over there is not a watermelon. That's on that vine. Again, I have no idea what it is. And this sunflower is already drooping and like being weird. I don't know why. But yeah, we've got... I was trying to find one. Ah, yeah, there it is. We've got actual watermelons starting from that. So we do have a couple of actual watermelons. But, oh, there's another one over there. Yeah, there's the difference between the two. See that big green thing and then the baby watermelon? Yeah, that was supposed to be a butternut squash. It is not. And then, of course, this over here is all the pumpkins that are not really... pumpkins, I guess. I think they're more gourds. I ended up harvesting a few of them and trying to eat them, like bake them, like little pumpkins like you could do. They were not that flavorful. I think I'm going to end up harvesting a bunch of these. You see how some of this is dying off, but I think that I'm going to end up harvesting some of these and just saving them and letting them harden off for like gourds and decorations and things, because see, some of them are even bumpy down in there like gourds. So I'm gonna make use of this, and this was a good experiment, but I don't think I will use saved pumpkin seeds next year, just simply because they are too willing to cross with anything else and everything else. Oh, look at this. We'll step in here. Look at those up there. Those are taller than me. Isn't that awesome? All of these multi-headed sunflowers, like they all seem to have gotten to a point, and then you see here like just split and then just went into a million heads instead of just one. But one of my favorite ones is that one right now, and all of those on that same head. Goodness, they're so pretty. Now I did get some of these sunflowers, look at that, from, and then these guys are driving me crazy making more of them, and I have a feeling that they have something to do with my pumpkins dying off, because I think I got into some vine borers and they're killing off the plants, which that happens, especially when it's so thick and you can't really keep up with, you know, eggs and things on everything, but it's part of it. And I'm okay with that because it's produced a lot of pumpkins. But look at this guy. Slow morning. I get it, dude. Not had enough coffee yet. Slowly cleaning himself or herself, getting ready for the day. Just struggling a little. It's a little cool this morning. I get it. Want him to clean himself. You just hanging out, huh? You just hanging out. But yeah, I love the color on this one. The sun's starting to come up over here, so it is early. Like it's like dawn. Look at the colors on that one. That one's hard to get to because it's like right in the middle of the patch. But that one is gorgeous. And then, of course, like I said, we've got all these pumpkins in here, and like they're striped. Some of them have started turning. So that's one, like, you see those down in there. Like, that one actually looks like a pumpkin, but it's a weird shape. But yeah, they look more like gourds. That one actually looks like a mini pumpkin down in there. So I'm gonna come down here. I'm gonna let this die off a little more. And then I'm gonna, oh, looking at a little wee pumpkin. Gonna let it start dying off a little more and then harvest and put up what I can. Goodness, that one's gonna have a bunch of heads. Look at all the little heads on that one. And then, of course, this one. I'm trying not to step on vines. I'm sorry if my camera angle is weird. Look how dark that is. These are the crimson sunflowers, Crimson Fire, Crimson Rose. I'll have to look at the seed packet from Baker Creek. Like, they are gorgeous. And that's, I believe, one of them as well. Now, obviously, the real tall ones are the Mammoth sunflowers that are seeds that I saved from Mammoth sunflower seeds we got from like Home Depot a few years ago, because I've been saving seeds. Now, I was looking for another one. Now, these, I think, are the Autumn Beauties. And this one had more orange in it before it started turning. This was one of the first ones to open. I think this one right here is one of the Autumn Beauties. And it was a pack that I got at like the dollar store. And look how pretty that is. Like, look at the colors in that. Like, compare that to this. Like, the different colorizations of them. I wish I could get like one of the red ones and these two together, so that you could see the comparison. And then the yellows in that, like, they are gorgeous. I am so thrilled with how that's turning out, and you know, all of that. In the meantime, I'm gonna walk you back up here because I am gonna pick some stuff for today. I'm gonna get some basil and make some strawberry basil lemonade for one of the get-togethers this weekend, and I'm picking some beans and some squash and stuff. I may pickle the beans. I'm on the fence about if I'll have time. If I don't have time, I have found a little community farm stand that I can donate to, which I was really happy to find, just because eventually I will be getting a huge surplus, and if with how busy we've been, I don't want those things to go to waste. So anything that I don't have time to can or process, I'll be able to donate to that, and it goes towards like people who can't have gardens right now, or homeless communities, those kinds of things. So hopefully, you know, those things will be put to good use in the meantime. But this morning, I'm just out enjoying things as the sun comes up. So look at these. I'm excited about these again. Look at these. They are getting ready to bloom again. It's got 2 more little blooms. I'm excited. I actually planted more of these because they did so well. I mean, this pot is awful. I mean, obviously weeds aren't even growing in that thing, but these are growing. So planted more, not in this pot, but where I took the kale out, because trying to get some flowers growing there until fall. But yeah, see the basils. I'm gonna trim those, and I think that okra is gonna start blooming like anytime. I keep checking it for blooms and I'm not seeing any yet. But look at the red on that. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, it just doesn't do it justice, all the colors of that. And then the purple, like, I'm looking more for like one of the pink ones, because we were looking the other day and you can almost tell. Oh, here's one of the pink ones. Obviously this is just your standard green stem, like standard green okra. This is your red okra. See the stem? And then look at the stem on this one. You see how it has that like pinkish color? I think this is one of my pink ones. See how the leaves are a different shape than these? I'm thinking that that's I think it's Japanese pink or Chinese pink. So I'm hoping to get some off of that one, because that'll be interesting to save seeds from and use. But yeah, this is my basil that's getting out of control that I've been trimming off of a bunch, and this is probably where I'll get mine for the basil lemonade. But yeah, look at these rattlesnake beans. They're finally getting up to the top. I had to have Toby wind them around. But yeah, look at those. I'm gonna harvest some of these. And these beans, the new rounds, are starting to put out vines. So they're doing this number. And my son's hollering at me. What, baby? Yep. Yeah, they're feeding themselves. But yeah, there's like tons of beans still like in this, and so I'll be harvesting those. Now the strawberries in the heat, and because we haven't had as much rain, have kind of, you know, not been producing as much. Like, we're getting 1 or 2, but where we were getting like a basket full a day, it cut back. But it is starting to produce again, so I'm hoping that with the rain and stuff we got this week, it will, you know, start putting on some more strawberries. The dill is going to seed. This is the only dill I could get to grow this year. I don't know why. And I started a video the other night, and it was about 7 o'clock, and I'm looking on the oregano. That's why I'm panning on it. And it's early yet, and so the ladies aren't out this heavily, but I came out here and they were just all over this. There were like 30 of them. There was like a huge boring bee with them, and I mean, I was able to do some size comparisons. I had started a video, got about 2 minutes into it, and then Trig had a epic meltdown, and then I didn't get to do anything else with that, so it ended up getting sent to Kristen but didn't get, you know, put online. But yeah, look, there are some out, some little bumblebees and things out, but the honeybees are not out and roaming yet. Speaking of honeybees, I am getting my honeybees tomorrow. Their box is set up down by where the neighbor's apiary is, and I looked at that nasturtium. That one's so pretty. What, buddy? Yes. Goodness, you would think that they didn't know what breakfast food was in there. It's the life of a mom, huh? But yeah, there are some little pollinators down in here. I can hear them. Oh, there's one. Seen one fly out. Now these obviously are still producing, like they're sitting there. Oh goodness, ma'am, you were absolutely covered. That one was almost yellow. It was so covered in pollen. But yeah, this one, I figured out that this isn't peaches and cream. This is orchid and cream. That's what this one's called. This is the one that I ended up seeing on Jess's Roots and Refuge channel and got the seeds for it and really thought it was gorgeous. It's from Baker Creek. All my nasturtiums are from Baker's Creek because that was, you know, where I found them in the catalogs, and so I ordered them. Oh, look here, guys. These are the ones I fought with the aphids. If you remember, weeks and a month ago, I was putting ladybugs on these because I was fighting with the aphids. We finally won that battle, and look. Now we're still dealing with some ants, obviously, but look at that flower, and then look at this bean. Now these are obviously, they're gonna get a yard long. That's the thing. Like, they're gonna be yard long, purple potted Thai beans. But yeah, see, we're still dealing with some of the ants and things. And I'm not sure why this particular set of beans are attracting those things, but obviously they're healthy. Like, they're growing up the trellis. They're doing okay. Look at this. You see that? The birds are breaking them off at the top. It's driving me nuts, but at least they are growing and spreading and doing what they're supposed to be doing. I'm getting some blooms, some multiple beans, so it is finally doing what it's supposed to be doing, and I may actually get to try these. I was really worried that this one was going to be a failed effort because of the aphids and the ants and things on it, and I battled those so much at the beginning of the season that I really was afraid that those were a lost cause. Look down in there, get another little spaceship squash down there. Oh, look at all the little bees. Oh, there's, I don't know, I didn't see that one good. I don't know if that one's a yellow jacket or if that one was an actual honeybee. But we're, oh, look at that one, little fat bumblebee. But yeah, obviously these are doing okay. I have been checking these things daily for eggs and for those little beetles that pretend to be ladybugs and they're not. They're like squash bugs. They're not. Been checking them daily and trying to stay on top of that because I do want them to get happy and produce well. Look at that. I need to harvest that one. It's a silver slicer cucumber from Hudson Valley Creek. These are the ones I was telling you about that even in our 95-degree days, they do not go bitter, or at least the ones I have eaten so far have not, and they can get big and not be bitter. Like, I could leave that one out here for another couple of days and be fine and still eat that and it'd be fine. So I mean, I may get it today, I may not. It depends. Now, the melons are finally doing their thing. These are all the Tigger melons. I'm starting to notice some blooms on them. I'm not noticing any female blooms yet, but that's okay because this was I planted this later than everything else and it's gotten kind of a slower start. So I'm not as concerned. But look at these spaghetti squash. My goodness. I harvested one already. There's one there, down in there. Now that one is starting to turn. You see how it's kind of a pale yellow? That one, even though it's not that big, will be ready to harvest soon. That one's massive. Now I got one striped one out of that. I'm excited that I got a striped one. That one, this one, this one. That one is humongous. I'm surprised it has not torn itself loose. I have provided no support for these. This was an experiment. And so we're just seeing what happens with those. I have provided no support whatsoever. And so let's look at the tomatoes and see what's going on with the tomatoes and the eggplants. The eggplants are finally doing something. And Let's look at them. Oh, you see the blooms? See the bloom in there for the eggplant? I have multiple blooms, multiple things going on in there. And you see some of those that are starting to ripen. I am still, like, this is that Black Prince. And they get so ripe, they get mushy. And I keep expecting them. I think it was mislabeled. I do not think that that is a Black Prince, because those do not turn black. These other ones, like this is a Black Beauty. And that's a Black Beauty under there. These were those Midnight Snack ones back there. And they are all very obviously turning black. And so I really don't think that that is a Black Prince. I think that it was mislabeled. But we have been letting them, we're thinking, oh, well, we're just not eating them ripe. Like, they're just not getting good and ripe. That's why they don't have the flavor that we expect out of them. But I have let them sit on the windowsill till they have almost rotted, and they still just do not have any flavor. I have no idea what type that is, but they are not that great. So I cannot wait for the rest of my things to start ripening. Now, I am starting to get some of those ripe. You see how some of those are turning red down in the bottom there? Those are tasty when they get ripe. They're not too sweet. They are acidic, but they are good. I can't wait to get a good handful of those and just eat them. Like, we've eaten one or two, but we've not gotten just absolute, like, a ton. But I can't wait for these and these to start ripening. This is the Daddy's tomato. You know how I told you it's kind of long like a Roma, but it's going to be striped. That one is the Sunrise Bumblebee. That is from Baker Creek. And they're similar varieties. And so, but obviously different shape. They're going to be very similar colors, if I remember correctly. So we will see. Yes! Oh my goodness, these kids. You would think that they did not know how to survive without someone standing over top of them. But yeah, the ground cherries are absolutely covered up. You see them? We've been getting one or two here or there, but we have not gotten like just an absolute huge harvest of them yet. We're kind of waiting like with everything else. Obviously the tomatoes, this one is finally starting to put on. I mean, look at those. This one is a survivor. This one is a survivor. That one is one of mine that I planted from seed. All of these right here are from seed. The back ones are from the store. And I'm finally starting to get one or two of mine from seeds that are competing with those. Like, obviously some of these are getting really tall. I'm gonna need to do something else about trellising. You've seen how I kind of put another tomato cage on top and zip tied it. And I mean, that thing's taller than me. Like, it is very clearly taller than me. And so it's that kind of thing that it is. They are growing like weeds, and that's what I want, because I want tons of tomatoes. So, but I will need to give this one a bit more support. It's getting a little big. My goodness, now Greg is out here hollering. Hold on, buddy. But yeah, the corn is tasseling, corn is putting out seeds. It's been windy, so hopefully it is pollinating well. All of that has done exceptionally well. Oh my goodness, they're just hollering. Guys, I'm gonna have to turn it off, because I've already been interrupted one time in a video this morning. He's just not gonna have it. So I'm gonna let you guys go, and we'll maybe do another video later and show you a little bit of what I've been doing with some of this stuff, as far as like herbal salts and infusing oils and infusing honey, and maybe show you some of the things in the front flower bed as well that are doing well, like the lavender and the stevia, those kinds of things. But I will see you guys later. Have a good morning and a good 4th. Bye.